My name is Martin. I've been studying charisma and communication skills for 3 years straight, and in today's video I'm about to expose the most important communication strategies that highly successful keynote speakers are using. And the most funny thing about this video is that people are charging thousands and thousands of dollars in their paid products just for you to know this information. So you are getting this information just for free on YouTube and not for thousands and thousands of dollars. And just for you know that I am a trustable source, I have 30 friends at my local gym, I have a 12-year-old friendship with my best friend, and I have a 1-year-old relationship with my girlfriend with 0 arguments. And I'm gonna in today's video cover 5 of the most important strategies and tricks. Let's get into them. And my first point is, you may be asking yourself, why is it too late, Martin? Why cannot I just wait and study communication skills? Reason for that is because people are starting to wake up and they now know that communication and speaking is one of the single-handedly most important skills if you want to double or maybe triple your monthly income. The reason for that is because people are striving to find good communicators, but, a huge but, there are not many of them available. There is a huge demand for good communicators, but in fact, there are not many of them. So the demand is all the way up here. You cannot even see my hand. And not a lot of good communicators are out there. So that's why if you just become good at communication, you will get so many good results and you will eventually get to the best results, the highest income you can possibly get to, or even more friends and even the best relationship you can possibly get into. Also, the studies show that communication is the highest paying skill set in the entire world, because you can imagine someone who is a, for example, businessman knows how to sell very good by his speaking skill and his good communication. But if someone has good communication skills and they are in their job, they will double or maybe triple X their income because they know how to ask for the promotion in the right way. And that's why we need to act now, because people are starting to understand that good communicators are so rare these days, and everyone is now hopping on the wave and everyone wants to ride it, and anyone wants to get that salary in a click of their fingers. So that's why we need to learn this fast. Now that we covered why it is important to learn communication skills, we now can move to actually learning communication skills. And my first point is, make it simple. A lot of people, when they are trying to convey their thoughts to other people, they are using this very specific and very nerdy words. They're using words that you and 99% of the population don't even understand. And the worst thing about this is that people think they are intellectual. People think that, oh, if I say this word, then people might think that I am very knowledgeable and intellectual. That might be true. I will not take that belief away from your mind, because frankly, that will and might be really true. But what are you really missing out on is the clarity of your message, because once you start implementing all these junk words, all the words that don't make any sense in the conversation or in your communication pattern, suddenly people don't even understand your entire point. Suddenly they will get lost in the junk and in the stupid words you have said, but you think those words are smart, but for other people they are just filler words. They should not be there. Words of intellect will strip away from your message because they reduce the clarity of it, and the structure will just fall apart, because suddenly you want to say this and that and that and that and that and that and that, and suddenly people don't even know what the point even is. But now, how can we exactly fix this problem? You have probably heard a lot of people say that when you are in front of the audience, think about them as if they are naked. But there is a much better strategy to this. This one is not really that good. The one that is much better is thinking about your audience as little children. The reason why we think about our audience as little children, because you can imagine if someone really professional gets onto the stage and he sees adults in front of him, how would he be speaking? He would be speaking probably, today we'll be talking about how we can increase our salary by 200% in just this 1 month. Frank, do you have any questions? No? Okay, let's get started. They would be speaking like this, very non-emotionally, very professionally, and it is not really engaging. But when we start speaking to children, how would we speak? We will speak exactly like this. Hello children, today I'm gonna show you why you should not play with your toys past the 9 p.m. mark. Suddenly much more engaging, and the entire message is much more clear. In that previous example, he asked Frank if he has some stupid questions, even though that singular sentence just completely derailed the entire point of his message. So if we are talking to children, we are always to the point, we are always specific, and we are not just destroying our own structure of communication. So if you just think about your audience as speaking to children, eventually you will make it as simple as possible. And it is not just to downgrade other human beings and think they are stupid. It is just for us as good communicators to show them what we truly mean. So how can we improve this? By not saying all of those very smart and intellectual words, because then, first of all, 99% don't even know what those words even mean, and second of all, it will destroy your clarity of your message. And then, as another thing, talk to your people like they are children. We don't need some crazy analogical systems. I have no idea, because nobody is gonna remember that. Once I have heard a speaker talking, and through the entire year he had not remembered even a single keynote that other people have gave him onto the stage. But then suddenly he noticed a woman just sitting inside the audience, and she was going to every single one of his presentations. And when he was asking people onto the stage, he never remembered any one of their messages. But this one woman came up to the stage and he asked her, "Who was the last person you kissed?" And time went. She was just sitting in front of the audience, quiet. Nobody even looked at her. Everyone started to get really anxious, and everyone started saying, "What is this? Why is this so awkward? Why is this woman just on stage, just doing nothing?" And then even the keynote speaker just started to panic a little bit, and he started thinking to himself, whoa, should I just come on and just say something to her? Should I take her off the stage? And then suddenly the woman spoke, and she said, "The last person I kissed was my grandmother. She died 10 days ago." And that singular sentence was so clear, so concise, and even so short that the keynote speaker remembered it. It was the only sentence, and frankly the only keynote speech that he remembered from that year. Everything that she said was to the point, nothing filler. Just emotion and pure honesty. So now you can just see that clarity and simplicity is much better than saying this very junky volume of overqualified words. Just go into the conversation to explain everything as simple as you possibly can. After we know what structure we should use and how to clarify our message, let's move to articulation, because a lot of people have really bad articulation. And I have to be honest, I myself, I'm working on this sometimes. The reason why a lot of people have bad articulation is because they are using their own language inside another language. Let me explain what do I mean by this. Once you were, for example, born in India, in China, in England, in Australia, you have different accents, and that accent can be heard from your speaking pattern because you were born and you were conditioned through that certain behavior. But here is the big catch. You might be thinking that, oh, my articulation is not the problem, I just have to get rid of it. That is completely false. Your accent is beautiful, and it is the thing that makes you special. But we need to just improve our articulation. The problem is not the accent, it is the articulation itself. And when you were born in Australia, in Britain, in India, in China, you were taught specific mouth movements inside that language. But because now you want to, for example, try to speak in the English language, you now have a much harder time doing that. So for example, let's take someone from China. Once they have discovered, for example, the English language, once they try to speak that language, they will subconsciously just use the pronunciation of the Chinese words, but in the English language. And that's when they will sound really unnatural and really bad at it, because they are using the wrong pronunciation of the words. And the best thing that I can give, and it's very simple to every single one of you watching, is to just open your mouth more. Eventually, you don't have to open your mouth as much, but when you want to improve your articulation, especially in the English language, you need to open your mouth more. The English language has been designed to open your mouth more when you are talking. Yes, I have to be honest, for the past few months, you will look a little bit weird, but eventually, after the months go by, you will then just speak in the English language naturally without you even needing to open your mouth like a crazy shark. Because I've seen a lot of people who are from China, from India, and a lot of these people are today we'll be talking about the most important thing when it comes to communication, and we have to be talking about they are using the Indian pronunciation or the Chinese one, not the English one. And whenever I told them open your mouth more, suddenly that makes a huge difference. Yes, for some months they will look a little bit weird, but then it will start to actually show on their articulation and pronunciation, and they will be much better. After we talked about the articulation, let's talk about making people engaged, because you can be the best articulator, you can have the message super simple, but if you are not engaging the other person, they will just not listen to you. The best example is from one thing that happened to me just 1 week ago. I was on a presentation about God and Jesus and religion, and I really enjoyed it. It was super cool. But one speaker came onto the stage and he had a great presentation. Everything fluid, his articulation was perfect, everything went well. But the problem was that he was not engaging, and he was speaking like this. So today I will show you how you can improve your relationship with God himself. And we'll be talking about the point 1, 2, and 3, and after some time we'll be then talking about the 4th point. You are already bored. You don't want to listen to this guy because his speaking pattern is extremely predictable. And the way how we can fix this is by us using this blum 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 blum. Have you seen a stock graph? It sometimes goes like That's what we need to use. We cannot just be linear with our voice, because then people would understand that we are not AI generated, guys. This video has been created by a real human being, and it is definitely not AI generated. And how we will not sound AI generated is by us just using the variety in our voice, and that is gonna make you look much more like a real human being and not like AI generated voice message. The way how you can implement this is by you changing the tonality of your facial expressions and your pitch and melody. Those two things are one of the most important ones. There's also the volume and the rate of speech and the pauses, but just for this video, to keep it simple, I will just keep it in tonality and melody, because those one show that you are a true human being. Once you will get your facial expressions in check, and once you will have your pitch and melody in check, that's when people will never mistake you for an AI generated robot. So let me explain the melody and the pitch. Melody and the pitch are one and the same thing. When you see a piano, you see all of the keys on the piano. But 99% of people in this entire world walk and speak on the street with that one key. Dun 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 dun. Really boring to listen to these people eventually. But people who are brilliant communicators use they use all of the keys available in their own instrument. In this case, it is our voice. And the pitch and melody is just our notes. The way how I think about this is from 1 all the way up to 10. One pitch would be something like this. My name is Martin. Nice to meet you. My name is Mickey Mouse also. There'll be 1 out of 10 pitch, but a 10 out of 10 pitch would be something like this. I'm talking like this right now, and I'm extremely deep with my pitch and with my melody. So you can just alternate between these two just to show to other people that you are engaging and you are not there to just, I am conveying this message to you all. We all had the teachers like that in our school. Like they had no passion for the work they were doing. They were just, I will share with you these top 5 methods and then we'll write a test. And you are already bored. You don't want to listen to these people because they are such unengaging communicators. And how we can fix this is by us using the variety in our voice and using the pitch and melody sometimes, and maybe sometimes going a little bit deep. And the second thing I talked about are your facial expressions. In this case, tonality. Tonality is the face that you display, because still I can give you some melody and pitch, but if I don't use my facial expressions, I will still be extremely weird and robotic. Today I'll be talking to you about a very important story that I have talked to my kids about, but suddenly a very huge man appeared in the story. Yes, still, very important. It is a little bit more engaging, but still, I have no facial expressions. I look like a robot that came from the Terminator movie. That's why the way how we can improve our facial expressions is by actually doing them. I don't know why people don't do facial expressions. We men have the huge problem when it comes to this, because men think that they are being extremely cool when we walk on the street like this, and we are extremely sexy when we have no emotions whatsoever. It is false. People love you much and much more if you actually will smile and will show them that you are engaging. For example, if someone is listening, we don't want to interrupt them, but the way how we can show them that we are truly listening is by our facial expressions. For example, imagine if you were speaking something to me, if I just do, or if I just do, and if I just do, suddenly you know that I'm listening because I am expressing my emotions to you. But imagine if I was listening to you like this. Nothing. You don't even know that I am listening. And if I also had my eye contact away from you, now you definitely don't think I'm listening to what you have just said, because my eye contact, first of all, is completely out the window and my facial expressions don't even exist. But still, the best way how you can make someone listen is just with a through steady eye contact. I have this one person inside my gym, and whenever I speak to him, yeah, yeah, I'm listening, yeah, you are not listening, my guy. That's why eye contact and your facial expressions make the other person talk and talk even further, and also they will make you a very good storyteller and a very good communicator, because if you don't have other people in the room engaged, then you cannot, for the love of God, teach them anything, and they will never ever care and remember your presentation because they were not engaged in the first place. Now that we covered make them engaged, I will be talking about the mind and the mouth connection. A lot of people have clutter. Like I previously said in my second point, people have clutter in their mind, and when they try to speak, they give us so much information and we don't even know what is really the point of the entire sentence. That's why the mind and mouth connection is extremely important. Once you start speaking, the entire thoughts need to go through your mouth in a very organized way. And how we can improve this is by us speaking on the spot about the random topics that we have no idea they even exist. The best way how we can do this is to go onto Google right now and search random word generator. We will open up the random word generator, we'll open it up, and we will go generate random words. Lamp. And because I'm a good communicator, I'm not going to show you how I will talk about the word lamp without any pauses. And that's the most important thing when it comes to this simple practice. You need to be able to talk about a word for 1 minute straight without you even pausing for a little bit. When I was extremely younger, I always had this problem when going to sleep because the nightfall was always coming, and the night and the darkness, I was extremely scared of it. But then my mother bought me this little cool lamp. And this little cool lamp, I always pulled it on, and I always from then on out slept with an extremely good sense in my mind. The lamp was very blue and it never disrupted my sleep, but on the other hand it was extremely small, and when I had it in me and when I had it on me, I felt extremely safe. Yeah, I made a little inaccuracy right there because I am not an English native speaker. I'm from Slovakia, if you didn't know that. Even I make mistakes because I have not been born in the English language. So it is completely okay to make mistakes. Even I myself sometimes make mistakes because I don't really know how to talk in the English language fluently and properly. Sometimes I get into the flow state and I go extremely but a lot of times, sometimes I fumble the sentence. But if you just practice this every single day and you get a random word on the screen, this will strengthen your mouth and mind connection, and you will eventually know how to speak the words about, for example, the word lamp very straightforward and in a very simplistic and understandable way. And you will not get this clutter inside your mind and bleh. You will just say only the most important words that come up to your mind. I just want to do one word with you. Slow. I always liked snails because of how slow they are. I will tell you a very important story. One day I came to my friend's house and he had this very huge knife, and I asked him, listen John, what are you doing with that knife? And he said, I like to kill snails with it. He took me outside and pulled up the knife and started killing snails in front of me. And I asked him, John, why are you killing snails? And he said, they are eating my vegetables. I don't like that. See, you can make anything happen because I had a story about snails. Eventually, you can talk about snails anytime you want. And by the way, because you got this far into the video, I have a very special surprise for you. My name is Martin and I am the inventor of the social yin yang. Imagine you being extremely charming, being able to listen to other people and give them awesome and honest compliments. But on the other hand, you will be assertive, you will be respected by other people, and you will take a stand if needed, and you will never have to wear this stupid mask to please other people ever again. And I have created an entire program that will help you to achieve social yin yang, aka social mastery. You will also get access to 30 plus hours of courses and lectures made by me about charisma and communication. You get access to 24/7 coaching from me, where you can message me anytime you want if you need help with communication and social skills. And furthermore, you get access to a full community of people who are just like you, who want to improve their charisma and social skills. And just to make it even better for you, if you see no results whatsoever in this program, I personally will refund all of your money back to you. Because once you will not succeed, I don't want your money. So if you are ready to become the most charismatic version of yourself, click the first link in the description. I will see you there. And if you are for some reason still not ready yet, you should click the second link in the description. And I will hop with you on a 30-minute one-on-one call where I will personally help you improve your charisma and communication skills. I will see you there. And if you want to learn charisma in the most easiest way possible, you should look at this video right here. I will see you there. Live a happy life.